because on one side, you've got a team that not only loves to throw the football, they do it quite well. They're the #1 passing offense in the league. And on the other sideline, the ground game is their strength. They're a top 5 unit in the league. So contrasting styles of moving the football. To me, this is going to make for a very interesting ball game.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16.
This fielded right at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The KC offense set to go, led as always by the gunslinger, a former MVP in this league. It's Patrick Mahomes.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing 1 interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
On first down, Mahomes. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
Well, these two teams, they met up way back in the season opener. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now here's Mahomes.
That one taken in by T. Higgins.
And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from.
Trying for right, and it's intercepted. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football, but at the same time you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 49.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown. A great play there. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Monarchs are on the board first here on the road in Kansas City.
Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Taken at the goal line. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Despite a little sizzle on the move, he's still tackled shy of the 20. We take a look at his numbers on the ground last week. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
Throwing on 2nd and 8, Mahomes. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Running their plays over and over during the week can often get robotic for an offense, but on game day they can often flow smoothly, as that one just did.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked out before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. Now Mahomes. He finds his man complete. It's Burke. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Mahomes now to throw. Sliding, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And that sack certainly just strengthening his candidacy for Defensive Player of the Year. You think he's got that one in the bag yet?
I'm not willing to vote quite yet just because I want to wait until the season's over, but he is really tracking towards it. Just look at all the great play. throughout the season. Strength plays that you referenced there, as well as agility plays, they just have not found a way to block him consistently.
Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. To throw, it's Mahomes. On the move to his left. And the pressure gets to him again. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Mahomes going to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, it's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play all the way through. I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
On 2nd down now. Hinton, and he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Final 30 seconds of this first quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. This defense for the Chiefs, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
This defense certainly has a lot to be proud of coming off of last week's game, because when you only give up 14 points in a contest, you give your team a great chance to win. The best defense in the league is usually going to average giving up 18, 19 points a game. So to be under that, a terrific achievement.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now, and it's London with the football, as they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about.
Downfield. Offense.
As a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there.
Ready? 60 Maverick. Catch match. Catch match.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for the touchdown. A great effort there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Monarchs have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just...
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. Designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
And that is off the left upright. It's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
KC's offense ready to take over.
And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first two drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than dirt. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. It's going the other way. And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
A try here for the extra point. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now here comes Kansas City.
And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you
Now
just
you
called
can
it.
go.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it. You mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that they've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Early down stuffs to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. He finds his man, complete. That's Burke. And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the first. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it'll be 4th down. Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This will be fielded at the 17. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
Here we go, here we go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And this is taken in at the 5. It's a big play there. 47 yards.
Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years. The arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And he made that look effortless, didn't he? I mean, he's had a great game throwing the football. This is going to add to his yardage total in a big way. It's one thing to be accurate on your short and intermediate throws, but when you're hitting the bombs like those, look out.
And that wound up traveling at even 58 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats.
Come on, come on. Hit. Hurt. Okay, break.
On 1st down, Hinton, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there.
His 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Monarchs are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play, and they actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on the stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, His teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
Extra point up and through. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. He finds his man, complete. That's Burke. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
He'll get that one to Carter, complete.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. Throwing now is Mahomes. That is incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
He finds his man, complete. That's Burke.
And he will have a Chiefs first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. Here's Mahomes to throw. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And he fires one that's intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
The Chiefs going to go back on offense here late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive.
Now Mahomes to try again after the pick six. In trouble, and he's taken down. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Mahomes. That's going to be brought in by Higgins.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now back to throw.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
He's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year.
And the Chiefs get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
The extra point up and good. And the lead drops from 34 down to 27. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown.
Takes it at the 7. One final go for this offense here in this first half. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room.
Final 17 seconds of the half here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. That's caught inside the 20.
He's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this.
Hey, we gonna do what we do.
So, roughing the passer penalty, never one that you like to see.
Not at all, and especially when you're in that final push of the season. You can't afford to get your quarterback hurt before the playoffs roll around, and we know they'll be here before you know it.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Monarchs will extend their lead here just before halftime.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
Now the try here for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Well, they got the ball in great field position. 1 play later, boom, end zone.
Maybe time for 1 play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
And with Mahomes under center, anything's possible. Watch out for the deep ball.
They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. From Chicago, we head north to the home of their rivals as we check on the Packers at home in Lambeau. And it was the visiting San Francisco 49ers that come in and get the victory. Breece Hall, 102 yards rushing there.
All right, we'll bypass the halftime show in favor of returning to this late season game with the teams coming back from the locker rooms here a bit early. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. And this offense set to go now to begin the third quarter. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. He's got him in, complete, and touchdown. A big play there. 75 yards. And the Monarchs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
This taken in at the goal line. And he returns this to the 22.
So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 22. Back to throw.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. London about set to take over on offense. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
A good solid game there on 1st down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
Check. 3.
And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down. Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete.
And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 22-yard line. A big gain of 28 as the drive continues.
Hey, check that. Big Lion.
They'll run on first down. Hinton. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Monarchs just continue to roll. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they built, pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent, and they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. Despite a little power on the move, still tackled shy of the 20. A 4-yard pickup that gets them going forward, but still 15 yards left on third down.
Well, so far, this game has gone the way the defensive coordinator had hoped. They've dictated things, and they've not let them run the ball very well at all. They gave up a nice game there. I doubt it'll back off their confidence. They've played so well throughout this entire game.
And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. They're obviously right now in the driver's seat, comfortably ahead. They've scored on a couple straight possessions, Charles, and I mean, for them, I guess it's just more of the same, right? Keep doing what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's not typical for us to see games out of reach in the third quarter. Right now, they're unstoppable in this one. And seeing how they just came out onto the field, it does appear like they're done scoring points in this one. They look awfully confident. This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
On first down, Hinton. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 51 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown.
His 8th rushing touchdown, his 12th overall. And the Monarchs get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Mahomes. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section.
Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes.
Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Returnable here from the 38. 35 yards that time on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
London about set to take over on offense.
We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse.
And this is taken in at the 5. And a huge play that time. 55 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Let's go now.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They're going to look to throw. Steps away. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run.
And the Monarchs are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field.
Well, their mini two-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Looking to throw. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat, but a first down.
Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the fourth quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive. And then
shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Another first down as they call his number again. He's got 15 yards here. He'll look to throw. Here's Higgins out on the right side.
And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
Mahomes to throw once more. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. Going down the middle, and it's complete.
And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Throw left side complete. That's right. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he? And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And now look at him go. The 40. Past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
Point after here coming up. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
KC's offense ready to take over. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now here's Mahomes. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. London about set to take over on offense. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
He's got a man complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now Mahomes. Quick hitter here, it's complete. A 6-yard pass on back-to-back plays. Picks up the first. Mahomes now to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for our visitors, it's another win for them. And you wonder if they want a redo on that one loss as they sit now at 14-1. And they will be at home for one next week against the Las Vegas Raiders. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, their playoff hopes take a big hit as they fall to 8-7. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys.